Hey everyone, it's Chris. I just want to pop on real quick. Excuse my messy hair. It's what happens when you go to bed with wet hair. I have some things. I've been kind of busy. I just wanted to show you. This is the Infinity hat. Was it Infinity hat? Invisible hat. It was the Invisible hat by Betty McKnit. And I had posted an orange one on a previous video. But this one I had done, I shortened it. So it's just like an earmuff kind of thing. And what side did we just have? Nope, wrong way. I wanted to show that. Basically, I can wear it either way. I did it with a piece of scrap cake yarn, so I had a green rim. I can wear it either way, and it works really well. So I had this hat, and I did that. And that one I'm keeping because I really like it. And last time I showed you this hat, and I was trying to show you the cool pattern on it. It wasn't that hat. It was this one. And I think it just has a really cool pattern going on up at the top. And I believe I just kind of made this up as I went along. And I added this little extra detail, like a back loop stitch, the third loop stitch, to give it a little extra special something. And I had shown you this shawl that I love. It was a test pattern, again, for my favorite designer, one of them. Sylvia, and this pattern is now live on Ravelry. It's Despina Shawl, D-E-S-P-I-N-A shawl by Sylvia K-A something. But if you go to my Ravelry group, the KB1901 KB, excuse me, you will be able to find my project and you can get it from there. This is a test hat that I made for a designer. I was testing her pattern. This one was her version where you seamed it. You seamed it up the side. I wasn't sure if I liked that, but you can roll up the brim. It's a basket weave type hat, and she had a scarf that went with it, so I did that one. I did that one her way where you worked it flat out into like a rectangular shape and then you sewed it up. This one here was the rest of that cake, and I did it in the round. I made the brim and then I worked it in the round. Excuse me, I take this off, it's too warm. And this one's a little snugger, but it gives you more, it's a little longer because I was trying to use up the cake, and it covers up more. So I did this one out of that. And this one is also a test I did for somebody. I don't think I showed this. This can go this way, or it's got a beautiful texture the other way. So it's a reversible hat. I'm trying to get it in the light so that you can see the pattern. That was beautiful. And then I did it again in a larger size. That was a baby size. And here I had a leftover piece of a cake, a shawl cake that I used, and it made a beautiful 2-row, and then I used the rest of the yarn from that one. And again, this is the one side. If you turn it inside out, you get a totally different look. And I really like that one. So I'd like both those hats, obviously, because I made a couple of them. And then I have to work on the back. There's a little bow there. I have to perfect that. I made this hat last night and today. I'm really trying to get it so you can see the pattern there. This is a design I came up with, and I am really proud of it. I really liked it. I liked this. This is Super Saver in artist print and Super Saver in medium purple. And I had intended to buy it. I bought it because we were did a short hour road trip, and I had taken my purple lace one I was working on, and that was too hard to do in the car. So when we got to our destination, I went to Joann's and bought this. So you can wear it down, you can roll it up. But I'm really liking it. I am going to write up the pattern because I don't think I've ever seen a combination of the stitches. So I did the brim, and then here I did a single crochet, and then this round here I did a chain 2 to start, then I skipped a stitch, did a single crochet, then I went back into the stitch I skipped and did a double crochet, and I did that all the way around. Then I did a row of single crochet, and then I did that same pattern again, and then a row of single crochet, and then I did the puff stitch, but I did 3 yarn overs, and then I did 2 yarn over, 3 yarn over 2 all the way around, because otherwise it was too big. And then the next row I did 2 yarn overs, then 3 yarn overs, 2, 3, 2, 3, all the way around, and single crochet row in between all of them. And then up here I went back and I did the pattern I did down here, and then, yes, Kit Kat, got a Kit Kat bugging me. Then I did 1 row of puff stitches where I did 2 yarn overs, and then I would do I did 2 together, 2 yarn overs but 2 together, and I did that all the way around. And then for the crown I did double crochet, I did some half double crochets, a couple rows of those, and I did double crochets at the top and I cinched it together. So I need to tweak it a little, but I'm really happy with it. But I mean, like here, of where I slip stitched is all. I just have to tweak it a little, but I'm really happy with it, and I love the texture on it. I love the way this looked, and I don't think it was bad for my first design. I really like it. I'll write it up. Maybe I'll do a tutorial, so if anybody wants to do it, if I don't write it up, but so anybody can try it. It's just, I was playing with stitches and I really liked it. And that is all I have, but I was just really proud of my stitch pattern here. I really like the texture on this. I don't think I've seen this kind of a look before. I was just trying to figure out how, and it worked out nice right in here with the puff stitches because it made it wider at the wider part of your head and then getting it down. So I might tweak how I close up a little. I just wanted to get it done, and then I can keep playing with it. But it went really quick. I started it yesterday in the car. So I think I got the brim done in the car, and I started this pattern. And I worked on it a little last night, and I just did the rest of it this morning. And it's done. So it's just tweaking it here where to cinch off. I probably stitched in one of the stitches I should have skipped and went to do a slip stitch to. And it's just, I was trying to write it down too, just so I had a rough, I did write it down somewhere. I lost my notebook. But I did try to jot it down just so I had a slight memory of what it was, so if I wanted to write it up, I could. So that's what I've been up to, that and gardening. And we did a lot of yard work yesterday, and then we treated ourselves with an hour drive to a nearby city town to go get tacos. My husband loves this taco place, and I was like it because I can get bean and rice burritos, and because I don't eat meat or tacos, and it was fun. It was nice to get away after we did a lot. My husband told me he would allow me one project for the weekend, and so I could pick what it was. He knew I had several in mind, so I said, so if you want me to cut up the tree, a tree in my son's yard fell on his kayaks, a branch from the tree, and he knew I wanted that cut up. He goes, I can do that, or you can have one thing. If you want to lay bricks in the front. And I said, no, I want you to go get, it was a a rectangular wooden frame, or in the front garden bed at my other son's house. And I wanted that up because I want to make that bigger so I can transfer one of my hydrangeas down to there. I said, I want you to go get that up because I could not get that up. It was too hard. And come to find out, he had like 3-foot long pieces of rebar in it, all over, holding it down. That's why I could never get it up. So my husband went over, and with the help of my youngest son, they got it out. So that was good. And then he goes, you can have one more thing. Do you want to go cut up the tree? And I'm like, yeah. So we went and cut up the tree. And then he goes, I'm okay. His back wasn't bugging him too much. He goes, if you want to go do some stones, we can do stones. So we worked out on the front patio, and we got it. We did probably half of what was left to do. And then we both said, okay, we're done. Because it was cool out yesterday. It was nice. And we called it a day. We came in, showered, and then we went off to Batavia to get our tacos. And that's when I went to Joann's and bought this yarn. And they had that jeans yarn, lime green jean yarn. It's so soft, on sale. And I bought some because there was on the skein. I'm trying to see if it's down here. It's not. I must have taken it upstairs. On the skein packaging, there was this scarf, and it was kind of like different squares and a patchwork scarf. It was really pretty in blues, and that's all the colors they had were blue. And I wanted to make it, and of course on the label it says in order to find out how many balls of each color you need, you have to log on to Lion Brand. I do not have a cell phone. I could not look that up. I did not have my iPad with me in the store, so I couldn't look it up. And asked the lady at the store. She tried to look it up, but their computers would not let them go to that site. I have a cat bugging me. He brought me his toy, and he wants to play. Maybe I can get him to come up. He can come up? So I just bought what I thought it would take, and hopefully it'll work out. If not, then maybe I'll just do some kind of a chevron or a zigzag or some kind of a pattern to make the scarf. But so I bought that, and I did buy other yarn. Bought these two. I went through their clearance stuff. They had some. It's a tiny Joann's, so their stuff is a little bit more organized. And I went over there, and he brought it